Hello, it's Spring here. Don't know what's going to be in this video. I think it's just a bit of a hello, I'm still here, and this is what I've been tinkering around with for ages. I'll see in a bit. Well, firstly, I've changed my fence gates. My old gates were long that side, short that side, and it was hard to get the bike out with the panniers on. These gates are built for the front end of the but anyway, so I've modified these, and these are now the bigger side is for getting out with the bike comfortably. I've adjusted the chain, cleaned it and lubed it. I think this chain might be getting to the end of its life because I seem to be adjusting it a little bit too often for the small miles that I actually do on it. So anyway, I've adjusted that. I'll probably have to fit a new chain and sprockets sometime. Right, I have changed panniers yet again. These are Kappa Garda 33s, 33 litre. They just look a bit more adventure bikey. They're just a tiny bit wider than those little E22 Givvies I had on there. They fit on the same bracketry. I've been looking at these for probably over a year, but they've always been too expensive, and I kept looking every week, see if I can find any deals, and then just after Christmas I found these at £100 less than the cheapest I could see them before. I got them on Amazon, and they weren't a pair as such, like two cases coming from the same person, but it was like one from somewhere and one from somewhere, but somehow the deal was £100 less than they normally are. So because they come from two different places, they're new. I've got all the brand new boxes sealed and everything, but strangely enough, this one has got an extra pair of catches on it. And this one's how they normally come, even though it's got facility for the catches. They normally come like this, and obviously because they're from two different places, the keys are different. So I've now got that key, and that key. I've got three separate keys now for my luggage. Instead of, you can get a set of key barrels, but I'm not sure. I think this barrel looks bigger than these two. So anyway, I'm not fussed, I don't mind. I've got three keys for them. But yeah, this is just something I've wanted for about 18 months, but could never afford them. So I've got those. I'd say they're a tiny bit wider than the last ones, the E22s, but they're bigger that way, square. So I just like them. I just think they look nice on an adventure bike. Not that I'm going around the world anytime soon. Okay, the next thing I did, in my never-ending quest to try and make the mirrors as wide as the panniers, they're still not as wide as the panniers, to give me a gauge for when I'm filtering. I've got some mirror extenders from M&P. They're just like a, I don't know if it's cast or billet. It's just an extender bracket, and they give you a new bolt to go in there, and then your mirror screws into this. I say I got them from M&P. The bolts that came with it, normally your mirror screws straight into there, onto that master cylinder holder, reservoir holder. So they give you two new bolts to fit this. Unfortunately, after you've threaded the first bolt in, you find out that the bolt's bent, and it nearly destroys the thread. So that was a little bit of swearing and a little bit of running taps and things. Luckily it didn't destroy the thread, and I checked the other brand new bolt for that side, and yep, lo and behold, both of those bolts, brand spanking new in the sealed packet, were bent. So I had to I had a load of bolts, and luckily I found two to do the job, even though they are different. That one's a hex head, one's a cap head, but anyway, so that was fun. These were, you know, these were about £8 delivered, but I'd rather they didn't send you a bolt if it's going to destroy your thing. Anyway, sorry about that moan. So having fitted those to make my mirrors a bit wider, there is another reason for having the wider mirrors as well. Then I was thinking to myself, well, my left-hand mirror, the standard one, always went floppy, and no matter what I did to it, I couldn't get the thing to stay still whilst riding. So I spent a year constantly adjusting the left-hand mirror. Looked on Wimoto, and I think £25 each. I bought a pair of replacement mirrors, which are slightly different to the originals. The originals are rectangular and flat on the back. These are a little bit more curved and aerodynamic. Same basic dimensions, same screws. Anyway, so I bought a pair of those. It worked out, it was about £50. What I did is I ordered one to replace my knackered one, and then I liked it so much I ordered the right one to match it. I could have saved £5 on postage if I'd ordered them both together. So anyway, that's them. Yeah, the other reason for having these, apart from they look much nicer and they work properly, is they're more aerodynamic, and with the extenders you get less wind buffeting. All the V-Stroms suffer from really extreme buffeting, wind buffeting. With the original screen and the original mirrors, for some reason it creates some sort of tornado. It's quite noisy. And having read up on a few V-Strom forums about the mirror extenders, everyone seems to agree that just the extenders on their own help with the dirty air and different mirrors. Most people fit some Aprilia mirrors on them, which are really sort of sporty and aerodynamic, but to be honest, I like the look of these. So next on the list, I was out last weekend, I think, and this indicator decided it wasn't going to work anymore, and then it would work occasionally, and then it wouldn't work. Just that one front one was still going at 20 times the speed of light, and then this one would come on again and slow it all down. So I figured, oh, that's easy, it'll just be the bulb connector or something. Well, I was wrong. Did the bulb, did the connectors, it wasn't that. Checked the loom, the first bit of loom that goes from there inside the tail unit. It was fine. I did it all on a multimeter. It was fine. So then I had to strip everything off the back of the bike, all of this luggage, all of this tailpiece, seat off, everything, take this back piece out the equation, and found there was a dodgy wire buried right in the loom by the frame. So I hadn't really thought about it properly, so what I did was chop the wire out, soldered in and heat shrunk some connectors and bits and pieces, and I bodged it, but bodged it in a good way, if you can relate to that. I didn't have the right connectors, but it's working and it's solid and it's all heat shrunk and it's all soldered in, soldered and crimped. Unfortunately, after I fixed it, which it's fine, the fix works, I went on eBay the next day, and you can buy a complete rear loom with all the proper connectors on it for £15 or £20 on eBay. So, which I would have got, but in the process of changing wires and connectors and that, I had to cut the connectors off of the end of the indicator, get rid of the standard nice Suzuki connector from the loom to the indicator loom, and I've put in sort of solder crimp bullets, unfortunately. So I could buy a complete loom second-hand for it, a tail light loom for 15 quid. Unfortunately, the indicators are about £20–25 to get the loom again. So anyway, that's fixed. Okay, and then last thing on the agenda. Last couple of days ago, I fitted some Oxford heated grips. It's a bit odd for me. Normally I take them off. Every bike I get that's got heated grips on, I just take them off. Don't like all the mess and the fuss. Excuse me. But when I had my 650 V-Strom, it came with heated grips, and I really liked them, and I didn't mind the mess because V-Strom is made to be covered in crap. So yes, I fitted heated grips. Couldn't find anywhere to run all the cables that look neat and tidy. There's plenty of loom on it, but not enough to take it down either side with all the other wires from the switch gear, and then like connect it nicely under the tank and down to the battery. You can connect them to your brake light switch, but then that leaves you even more hundreds of miles of wiring. So anyway, I've connected it to the battery. It's the type that if you accidentally leave them on, it senses it. If the engine's not running, it will turn off after 2 minutes or something. So yeah, so unfortunately I've now got a load of extra gumph, but I was quite lucky because I managed to run the cables down there and back. Just there's quite a gap between the tank and the frame, and I've run it through there, underneath all this, over the frame and then into the battery, so I didn't have to take the tank off, because if I wanted to take the tank off I have to remove all of this front fairing. So yeah, that's that. And other than, what else have I done? Oh yeah, and I put a lovely scratch in the panel taking these off, but I don't really care on this, it's a tractor. Yeah, so that's that. That's the latest. Later on I'm going to go out and have a ride, try out the heated grips, visit a little few spots. If this works, I'll be going to some of old man Tony's old haunts, just to give him a bit of a, whatever you call it, not deja vu, reminiscence, nostalgia, something like that. That might not happen, so this could be the end of the video, or there might be some little snippets from villages and towns in North Lincolnshire coming up. Cheers for that. I've been Springy. See you in a bit, or see you next time, whichever happens. Right, here we go. Hope you can hear me because I've got my crash helmet on still. We're in Broughton in North Lincolnshire. That's St Mary's Church. Just down the road there is the Black Swan pub, or the Black something, Black Horse, Black Swan. Yeah, it's quite a large village, might even be a town, but anyway, that's Broughton, St Mary's Church. Next stop, Brigg. Okay, here we are in Brigg, sort of in the town. I didn't realise I couldn't get through that to the proper town centre. Not many places to park, but anyway, the White Hart in Brigg. That's the way into Brig. Oh, let's show you a little river. Bear with. It's quite cold today. The heated grips are working just lovely. I've got 4 layers under my leather jacket, 4 thin layers, and I've got 2 layers under my riding jeans. But they're sort of thermal layers. But I'm going to put on my waterproof over trousers because my legs are getting a bit cold. Yeah, I say it's about 0 Celsius, 1 at the most. Anyway, that's the little river that runs through Brig. Okay, off to Grasby next, Grasby, whatever you call it. Oh, by the way, the pub in the Broughton was the Dog and Rat. Alrighty, this is Grasby or Grasby or Graysby. Village is down there, and this is the Cross Keys pub. That way's Caister. I'm going to go to Caister next, and then try and remember my way to North Kelsey, sort of that way. So Caister next. Oh, the waterproof over trousers definitely have taken down the chill factor, so that's nice. Okay, here we are in the marketplace, Caister. Posh pub. I don't know if you can see the sign on that shop, estate agents. I was sure that said Soundgarden as I pulled in. Sanderson Green. Anyway, that's Caister. I'm going to go for a little spin now, out and about, and try and find my way to North Kelsey. Well, I know my way, but I don't know my way without going nearly all the way back where I've been and then cutting back. So we'll find that in a minute. See you in a bit. There we are, Tony, North Kelsey, Village Hall. I'm just thinking to myself, did he say North Kelsey or did he say South Kelsey? I think he said North Kelsey. If it was south, I'm not there, I'm at north. Yeah, and from Caister, there's 2 roads that just split, and one of them comes pretty much straight here. So there we go, North Kelsey. Got a nice little place, really. I'd stop and have 5 minutes this time. Right, I'll either see you back at the ranch, or maybe I might stop at Brig Garden Centre for a cup of tea, or somewhere else for a cup of tea and a bacon roll, I think. Anyway, see you in a bit. Right, finally back to the beautiful market garden town of North Lincolnshire called Scunthorpe, which also has a giant steelworks in the middle of it. But it sounds a bit yucky, but it's a very nice place. That steelworks employs 3,000 odd people. Used to employ 30,000 ish back in the day. I'm right on the edge of Scunthorpe, right? It's fields next door, so Crosby actually I live in. But anyway, so there you go, industrial town, and everyone's lovely. So it may sound a bit of a hole, but it's not at all. It's a lovely place to live. Otherwise I wouldn't have still been here after moving from the beautiful Kent place. Anyway, I'm back. Bike's going to go in. Cheers, Tony, for your support and all your lovely comments over the last couple of years on my channel. I apologise that I've only recently subscribed to your channel. That's really bad. I feel so guilty. But I'm loving watching your vlogs on your Tiger 800, whatever it is, posh thing, which is very, very nice. Heated grips, yeah, they're great. Those Oxford ones, I'll tell you what, on 50% heat, they're really hot. So, but they do a good job, do the trick. Or you could always go bar muffs, like Del Boy uses the Don't know how that would work. It probably wouldn't work with your hand guards and that on the Tiger. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go and do something else. Go and relax, chill out. Yes, it's just about 0 to -1 degrees now, so I'll time that well. It's Sunday afternoon. It's the 19th or 20th of January, something like that. 20th of January, Sunday. It's a little bit of white frost on some roads in the windy bits, but I'm very steady anyway. But the car people out today, I'm not going to say any more. Yeah, I think if I'd have been of a suicidal nature, it'd have been a perfect day to go out with everyone else on the roads today. But there you go. That's how it goes. You've got to keep your wits about you. Don't go mad in the icy conditions. And take care, ride safe, as Del Boy says. And peace and love, as Springy says. See you later. Thanks for watching, and cheers, old man Tony. Thanks for your support, mate. See you later.